Falcon fans, Falcon fans, Falcon fans, and of course, Falcon fans. You already know what it is. You already know what to do. One time for the fan, episode 217. It's a beautiful day out here in Atlanta. I'm sure it's a beautiful day wherever you are checking in. Apple Podcast, Spotify Podcast, Amazon Podcast. T Will, one time for the fan. Carrie, one
Hey,
time for the fan. Big shout to Bodie. Big shout to Chase. How y'all doing tonight?
Doing well. Miss Carrie,
doing,
how you doing?
I'm doing great. Happy to be here.
All right. Well, we're glad to have you.
Thank you.
This is great. This is great. Falcon fans, we had the chance to do a pop-up podcast the other night, which was once again a pop-up podcast. I told what you guys around like 8:30, 8:45, like, hey, can you guys join us in like about an hour and talk some Falcons football? Not knowing that Country would bring on, Smitty and of course Uncle Steve too as well. So that was great to have a quick chat with everybody about what the Atlanta Falcons have been doing this offseason. But Carrie, big shout out to you. T Will, big shout out to you. How's everything going before my ATO Sports, T Will?
One day at a time, going pretty good. Slow, steady is the pace. And hey man, just trying to make the best content possible. Trying to put it out there for the fans because they deserve it. They're Falcons fans and they've been through enough. So I'm trying to make sure that the content that I put out is quality, it's entertaining, and it makes you think a little bit too. And I just gotta say, man, that pop-up show was so much fun.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, that was so much fun, bro. We gotta have Big Country and Uncle Steve and Smitty on again, man. That was just fun. That was just unadulterated fun. Like I still got a headache from laughing so hard, man.
I was
Dude,
gonna
it was awesome.
say my cheeks were literally hurting.
Yeah, I felt like we come from a comedy club, man. It was
from every angle, you just got laughter from Big Country. You have Steve with the soundboard too as well, and the sound bites that he had, and of course Smitty too as well. Everybody's cracking jokes, having a good time, but we all believe that the Atlanta Falcons can get the job done this season. Terry, you almost broke the internet too as well with your what was it, 2016 statement you made about the Falcons.
Yeah, so I those of you who missed it, I made a suggestion, and again, I'm prepared for all of the abuse that's about to come. But I made a prediction, not a prediction, but more so, what would you call it? Maybe analyzation, maybe like an assumption. I don't know, but I suggested that this year's Falcons team is better than the 2016 Falcons. Now I know you guys think I'm crazy. I already know where this is going. I already know.
Chat went off. Chat went off, but you had a lot of people agreeing with you. As a couple of people disagreeing with you. Smitty
He's lost it. What's wrong with
you
the
too
guy?
as well. I know you and Smitty cut a show on the
we did
the other day too as well, talking about it. There
did.
are a lot of fans that do believe what you said is true. If you look outside of Matt and Julio, coaching was a big part of that team too as well. Those rookies stepped up in a major way. A lot of those players are not on the team anymore. You have Brady Jarrett, Jake Matthews. But yeah, I mean, 2016 was something special, man. Offensively, every single week, known as a Falcon fan. What's up, Ken?
I was gonna say I
Your
can't.
audio kind of went out.
Yeah,
your audio went out.
My audio?
Yeah, it's back now. It's back now.
Yeah.
Okay. I hope so. I hope nothing's going wrong over here. Let's see. Let's. Did I say anything about Desmond Ridder? No, I think I'm good.
No, you just sounded like you were underwater for a second. Like it was, that was gonna be. I don't know, but anyway,
that could be some StreamYard stuff right there. So
could be.
Hey, if StreamYard's trying to keep us down, they're trying to keep us away from 1,000 subscribers. That's okay. We'll get there.
Wow.
But Carrie, about the 2016 Falcons team. I mean, you made a good comment too as well about how historic that team was. I mean, I think they were ranked top 10 in NFL history with their offense. But just your thoughts on that, what Terry had said the other night, Carrie, because I know there's a lot of people here that probably didn't hear what she had to say.
Well, I mean, Terry's my guy. Carrie, like the connection is there, but I had to, in the nicest way disagree. But
right.
I agree in the part that his primary focus was the trenches on the defensive side of the ball. And I completely agree. We have great depth this season on the defensive line. So I agree with that statement. But I think you said collectively. And I don't know. For me, I get it. But at the same time, that offense was just lethal in 2016. I mean, MVP Matt Ryan and Julio Jones. There's just no comparison as far as the offenses. So for me, the offense, even though the defense was better in this season, the hope is that the defense is better than 2016. I feel that 2016 offense was just off the chain, like no comparison. So
yeah, no, I'm sorry. I agree, Carrie. There is you might not ever see an offense that good, right? As a 2016, you might not ever see that. That was a culmination of number one, Kyle Shanahan being just about the best offensive mind or one of the best offensive minds in football, and Matt Ryan and Julio in their prime doing what they do. And it was just a convergence of circumstances and wow. And to be quite candid with you, if Kyle had been given the head coaching job, I think the Falcons may have 2 Super Bowl victories at this point. We definitely would have gone back. But, you know, that's neither here nor there. The whole premise of what I was saying is that obviously, you know, there've only been, I think, 7 or 4 teams better than that 2016 offense. Get that. But a football team is made up of 3 components, right? There's offense, there's defense, and there's special teams. Okay? So if you look at that special teams, we had Eric Weems, who I love Eric Weems, but was not the most fleet of foot. Okay? We have Ray McLeod. I think you could say, you know, our special teams is resoundingly better. All right? Which I didn't say the other night, but I've been turning this thing over my head. So just give me a little latitude, you know, because you know, obviously my brother-in-law saw it and he called me the next day and be like, "You damn crazy, you out your mind. What the hell is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? How much did you have to drink when you did that show?" And I was like, "Come on." So it made me defend myself. So
especially when you got people agreeing with you in the chat and on the podcast too.
For whatever reason, they pissed them off. I don't know. But then you get to the defense, right? And again, I love my Falcons. I've been with them for 40 plus years. This is no disrespect to them, but that 2016 defense was 26th, 27th, 28th in defensive categories. They could not get off the field as far as passing was concerned. They were better in the run because teams didn't run against them because they didn't have to. Now, a part of that, to be fair, is once you got to game 10 or 11, teams were behind. So they had to throw it, right? But even though
about a team that was putting up 30 points a game, like damn,
correct.
Every other
Well,
game.
actually it was 33.8. So they were really good. They were almost putting up 35 points a game. But with that being said, we still like our defense was again 26, 27, 28. Okay. So if you look at this year's defense, last year, even with all of our injuries, even with the 30 burger we gave up in game 16 and the damn near 50 burger we gave up in game 17, we still were the 18th best defense. You take out those past 2 games, we may have been in the top 12. And that unit is not as good or as deep as this unit. That coaching staff last year was not as good or as deep as this coaching staff, right? We have Drake London, we have Bijan Robinson, we have Kyle Pitts, and neither has been utilized. Neither has been pushed to their full potential. Neither has been schemed for because, quite candidly, we didn't have the parts to do it, right? So you kind of have a synergy of circumstances colliding, and I just feel like this team, once it gets going, they're going to snatch some collars, they're going to take some names, they're going to win some games, and ultimately, in my humble opinion, on paper, I know they haven't played yet, they're better. That's where I was coming from. Now, again, Kerry, you know we down like 4 flat tires, man. We can disagree all day. Me and you and I, we will always have Penix. We called it. We were the first to do it.
I feel like it's getting ready to happen. Let me get the whistle ready. Hold on now.
It's all good. Look, what you said the other day, BPE. That's what I'm gonna do. Right. I'd have been penalized too much. Coach already told me before I came in.
You've almost racked up 100 yards in a week. You racked up some yards the other night on the show too as well.
I'm in Rasheed Wallace territory right now. I got wow.
Well, if we're talking Falcons football, maybe Rasheed Hageman.
For the Falcons fam in the chat, if you don't know what BPE means, it stands for Big Penix Energy.
Go ahead. I knew it was coming. Oh my God, I knew it was coming. What is that? Is that 10 yard or 15?
That's a 15-yard on carry because it's not even 15 minutes into the show yet. But no, Falcon fans, hit that like, share, and subscribe button. Glad that you are here talking Falcons football with us. Georgia, Texas boy is in the chat. Wallace Smith, Travis Preston, Smooth C, DSGB Hall, Michael's in the chat. Tevin Phelps is in the chat. Philip Crawford, Sterling Woods is in the chat. And of course, Deshaun Coswell is here to stomp us once again in the chat. He said, "What's up, one timer? Who the rapper? The radio is just a stereo like a house, ain't a home." T. Will, this sounds like something around your time.
I don't know. I think I know it, and it's weird. But I guess, as my wife says, I'm a weirdo. I don't think that's from my time. I think that's J Electronica.
J Electronica?
Yeah.
The radio is just a stereo like a house, ain't a home.
I think that
sound like some Big Sean shit. I'm gonna go with Big Sean.
I'm gonna go with.
Really?
I think that's.
I mean, I've never even heard that bar. The other night, I was tripping on that Kendrick verse because I heard it so many times, and Deshaun got us. But this one right here,
he stepped his game up. But I think that's J Electronica. Eternal Sunshine. I think. Don't ask me why I know that. I one of my guys that I used to work with when we worked in the office was a DJ, but he did like electronica and all that stuff. And he used to play a lot of that at night. I think that's what that is. But I don't, but we'll wait and see. Somebody's got to.
Yeah, I hear you. Sterling Woods in the chat. Will this year defense be better than the 2016 Falcons defense?
Without a doubt.
So.
Without a doubt.
I definitely
unequivocally. Yeah, without a doubt.
I think so. We mentioned some of the pieces that you have here already with AJ Terrell. I mean, PFF just rated him as the toughest corner in the NFL. But then you also have him, which I think he's still a top 10 corner in the league. Then you have Jesse Bates, who fans here, and of course the NFL believes he's probably the number one safety. I think they have him as number 2. But for us here in Atlanta, we see him as the number 1 safety in the NFL. And of course, Antoine Winfield, I think they have him behind the guy from Tampa.
Absolutely not.
I got into an argument with a Bucs fan last season about Jesse Bates versus Winfield.
I forgot you're out there in that Florida area too as well. So you see Bucs fans randomly.
Yeah, so
but Florida's that state where everybody can just shine their colors of what team they rep all the time. You might have Cowboys fans out there, you might have Steeler fans out there. It's kind of different when you go to some of these cities, and we'll talk about the Rise Up Tour fan club shortly. But I've been to Cincinnati, right, where on game day, it's all Cincinnati Bengals fans, right? It's same thing like Seattle. It's all Seattle fans.
Yep.
Right. But I've also been to, the Rams in LA, and you can see there's Dolphin fans and there's Steeler fans and there's Cowboy fans and there's Patriot fans. So Florida's one of those places. I'm surprised. A Bucs fan you talked to the other day?
No, this was during last season, but
okay.
Yeah, we got into it because, obviously I'm going to defend Jesse Bates, and I think he is the best safety in the league. And then, the Bucs fan thinks Winfield's the best safety, but no.
I mean, Winfield good to me. Jesse's bigger. I mean, and don't get me wrong, Winfield has his nose everywhere, but Jesse's bigger. Jesse can do it all. And take nothing away. Winfield to me is a more opportunistic player. So like the stupid stuff with Ritter where he had the ball out and he's a heads up player, but from a talent perspective, Jesse is everywhere. Mm-hmm. Jesse can see passes coming before they get there, and they better be on the money. So I don't even think it's close. I'm going Jesse. Good for you. Wish I'd have been there. We'd have double teamed him.
Speaking of that, the whole ball getting punched out. Jack and I were like, right, that happened right near our section in Tampa.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Really?
We had like front view of that.
Getting ready to run the ball in for the touchdown. You know me, I'm always in that mode. I'm talking hella shit because we're already driving down the field getting ready to score. And then you know the play that they're getting ready to run because they ran it a couple times during the season, right? And you see them motion out and you know the Desmond Ritter's getting ready to do, the fake handoff and run it toward, I don't know what side he's going to run it toward, but he ran it toward our side and he was over there. He's looking good. I looked like he was looking at me for a minute. I was like, bro, can you take the ball for me?
Come
Next
on,
thing you know, pops that ball out. But, Falcons did come away with a dub that day. So that was a random dub that they came away with.
Even though we did our best to lose it, but they did. Bro, I was in Orlando during that game. We went down to an Airbnb.
Mm-hmm.
Me, my kids, my sister-in-law, her husband, a bunch of folks. And my wife and I, and my mom at the time, God rest her soul, and my wife and I were going to get something to eat. And we were out for 2 or 3 hours because we had to go and get it for the entire house. And Desmond had 2 fumbles during that time. I was like, shit, he did it? Because that was the game he had 2 in, right?
Yeah.
Didn't he have 2? I was like, He did it again, man. What are we doing?
We could have took that game away actually earlier in the day around third quarter. We could have tucked it away, but it went down to the last couple minutes once again. But came in with the dub. We like talking about wins here on the podcast. Falcon fans, hit that like, share, and subscribe button. Ricky Smith is in the chat. He said, Terry, I was with you the other day. I feel the same. A more balanced team. And don't forget, you have millions of Falcon fans around the world. So if that clip or if that scream does get out there, Terry, you might have a lot more people agreeing with you too as well. And fans have not seen the team play as yet. We see what we've, the off-season moves, and of course the OTAs and stuff, and that looks good. And everybody is prepared to see Kirk Cousins, have a hopefully that like a 2016 year when he was close to 5,000 yards, right? Which you have to have Kurt at 100%. Then you look at the wide receivers with Drake London and Rondell Moore, and I think we've upgraded in that room too as well since the last year. Kyle Pitts, like you've mentioned too as well. I mean, he's getting ready to come out to probably have a standout season too as well. Then you look at the defensive side of the ball with some of these names that we've mentioned. I mean, Jesse Bates and AJ Terrell, Caden Ellis, Arnold Ebiketie too as well. Grady Jarrett, David Amiata. But Falcon fans, definitely hit that like, share, and subscribe button. Fans are in the chat here talking Falcons football. Ricky Smith said, give him hell, Kerry.
Give him hell.
Thanks for tuning in.
Give him hell, Kerry.
I just want to say thank you to everybody for coming in to support, because you could be watching the Kendrick Lamar concert, for Juneteenth over in LA. And I appreciate you coming over to One Time for the Fan instead.
I mean, happy Juneteenth, especially with Kendrick Lamar performing live right now on Amazon Prime right now, Kerry?
Yeah, Amazon Prime. So I appreciate you guys tuning in.
So let's go.
Guys,
check that one out.
Are we
Don't leave now that I told you it's on. Just catch it later.
Put this one on quick. Go ahead, Terry.
Are we at the point where Kendrick is number 1 now? Is he undisputed?
I mean, are you trying to get into it right now?
Man, we can start another podcast with that because you already know what the chat's going to start saying. There's probably there might be Drake in the chat. Watch. You never know, man. So you never know. I see dead people.
Oh wow!
You never know. I'm
Did
just
you
saying.
Hear what he just said? Oh wow! Oh,
hey, I'm just saying on that one right there because Team Kendrick all the way. But no, to me, there's other artists. It depends on what you're looking at, man. You're looking at career wise with how much money they've made in the industry, or just albums or performances.
I'm talking street. I'm talking street cred and fear. And I don't think anybody wants it with Kendrick right now. That's a bad day, bro.
I mean,
that brother make 5
he's up there. He's up
by the time 12 o'clock p.m. hits, he's already made 5.
Georgia, Texas boy is already in the chat with the J. Cole still up there. So
J. Cole is up there, but I'm not even a present day rap fan, right? I'm not cool. I'm in my 50s. I got kids, but from what my kids tell me, hey man, Kendrick is that dude, man. I'm just saying. Kendrick is that dude.
Kendrick is definitely shining. He's definitely shining. He dropped some albums.
What y'all young folks say? Y'all say him. Kendrick is him. Kendrick is Timothy right now. He is Timothy.
I gotta give you the wild because you said, "What y'all young folks say?" I mean, that was kind of like your barbecue summertime moment, like we're playing spades. Like, what the Jack Daniels at? Hey, what this young buck? What is young buck over here talking about? You know, so it's great to have Terry here talking Falcons football. Big shout to Terry, big shout to Kerry, Falcon fans in the chat. Let's get straight to it because we got some things to go over tonight on the podcast, and of course, we'll be back Friday morning too as well for breakfast with One Time for the Fan. We know Falcon fans love to tailgate, right? And oh, what the hell's my mouse doing? Okay. But there's a problem here, Terry.
There's a problem.
They're doing some remodeling around the stadium, man, and it's taking away some of the tailgate space for a lot of the Falcon fans. Let me remove this from the chat too as well. Hold on 1 second.
So what are they doing with that space that they're taking away?
I'm about to go ahead and put this up. Hold on, what happened to my mouse? Oh, my mouse just died? Oh, are you kidding me?
And
Hold on 1 second. All right, here we go. All right, so what's going on around the stadium right now is there's a group that worked on the battery out there by the Braves Stadium. And if you saw what the Braves have around their studio by Truist, then you kind of can expect what's getting ready to happen around Mercedes-Benz Stadium. They want to lighten it up down there in the area where the Benz is, and they want to have some more stores and places for people to shop and have more restaurants and just a different type of game day experience. But this development team is getting ready to probably put up some pretty fancy stores on there. Maybe Jimmy Choo, Steve Madden, some like I said, some 5-star restaurants. Of course, they're building another hotel across the street from the stadium too as well right now. They're getting ready to raise the gulch from where the tailgate area is across the street from the stadium, where most fans usually tailgate. They're bringing that area up to street level. They're going to add some more stores there too as well. I think they're going to have like a bridge to walk over from both sides. So it's going to be kind of cool when fans see it in the next couple of years. But Terry is taken away from the tailgate space where fans love to tailgate. And now they're starting to probably have to go further and further down the street by the blue lot, by the yellow lot, by the marshalling yard, which is pretty far from the stadium. And it's a good little walk too as well if you're drinking, with some of these primetime games.
If you're drinking Tito's.
I mean, Falcon fans do turn up, man. They're out there at 8 o'clock in the morning. Some of those lots open up even earlier, but the Home Depot backyard, they're possibly getting ready to transform this into something like the Battery and around that surrounding area. So Kerry, just your thoughts on fans are so used to seeing old Atlanta and of course, getting out there and, being your tailgate buddies. But in the next couple of years, we could be looking at a brand new Atlanta downtown around the stadium where fans are going down there to shop. They might have a team store open outside. They might have an axe throwing place next door. Because of course, if you've been to Westgate in Arizona, right outside the State Farm Stadium where the Cardinals play, there's a bunch of stores around there. Same for LA. They got a bunch of stuff around there. Terry, your thoughts on this? What they're getting ready to do around the Benz?
I guess it depends on if it's going to generate revenue for the Falcons, right? So you alluded to the Braves, and believe it or not, that Battery area is probably the main reason the Braves were able to sign a lot of players. Real quick history lesson. Ted Turner used to own the Braves, sold them to Liberty Media, signed a deal with Fox that was horrible, right? So for comparison's sake, the Dodgers have a TV deal, not with Bally Sports, but somebody else, and their TV deal is worth $300 million a year. That's right, $300 million a year. The Braves initially was worth 40, which is like nothing. It's like tiddlywinks, right? In comparison to baseball. So the Braves moved to Cobb County so that they could build up that area because now they generate a lot of revenue from that area. I mean, a lot. And because of that, they've been able to sign players because the TV deal with Bally Sports, as you know, Bally went bankrupt. So I say that to say, if the Falcons are trying to do the same thing and it's going to build revenue or generate more revenue for the Falcons, I'm not necessarily opposed to it. We get into different things like salary cap. And by the way, I saw a story earlier today. We don't have to get into it now. but there's some sort of proposal that says quarterbacks are going to be under a separate cap. You happen to see that?
I saw that too, actually, right before the show. I saw that.
So that's I don't know. That's weird. I don't even know how the Players Association will feel about that. I don't know that will pass. But suffice it to say, if it generates revenue for the Falcons, it's not necessarily a bad thing. Now, as far as the tailgate experience, probably not going to be good, probably not going to be well received. If that's what you do, you're probably going to be impacted. But ultimately, if it means that the Falcons can sign a $60-70 million quarterback 5-6 years from now, by the time Penix is ready to get his next deal, I don't know. You know what I mean? I'm not necessarily for it. I'm not necessarily against it. I think it just depends on what the terms on the deal are. If the Falcons are going to generate revenue, which I believe they would, there's no way I would think they would go for that unless they would get some piece of that pie, which is what the Braves are doing. I've talked way too much. Carrie, what are your thoughts on it?
No, those are all great points. For me, I'm kind of like you. I'm in the middle. I mean, obviously, if it does help the Falcons, then that's great. Money talks, so I get it. But at the same time, you don't want to ruin the experience for the fans. I mean, the fans are the ones spending all this money, towards the team and towards the, stadium, game day, all this. You don't want to ruin the game day experience and take away the tailgating area. So that's kind of disappointing.
For so many years, you're talking about fans who've tailgated in these areas, probably for 20 plus years.
20 some years. So you have an ecosystem essentially that's there. And I just wonder, Carrie, is there any way that we can live in both worlds? Like maybe can we dedicate, like I work for the Falcons, and they dedicate, maybe space or a certain amount of space or create an area for fans to tailgate and still have that. And I wonder if those plans are even being
I don't
considered.
see it happening. I've seen what happened with the Battery. And of course, they're going to try to do something similar to that with all the space they have downtown. It could be even them working on across the street to make it even bigger. I mean, you saw what they did to the Hilton. It's right there. Like it's literally right there behind the Home Depot backyard. They built that hotel behind the bins. They got the reverb across the street. Then they're building another hotel across the street. And all this is in a small area too as well. Like this is not like it's spaced out, you know? So what they're getting ready to do downtown where even for the Home Depot backyard, fans remember when you go into the backyard. I mean, this year it'll still be there, but looking at possibly next year or even by the World Cup, that this could be done. But you see the Georgia World Congress Center Authority placed a public call in April seeking developers to reimagine land that was once home to the Georgia Dome and is currently known as the Home Depot Backyard in downtown Atlanta. The authority favors a potential entertainment complex to complement downtown's roster of sports and event venues. A team consisting of Hope and Land Real Estate, Fuqua Development, and Nelson Worldwide were selected among the applicants. But if you look at the Battery, I mean, Braves fans couldn't believe when they left downtown and went out to Cobb County or in that area. They couldn't believe it. And, of course, they built up something nice around the area. The Braves did win a World Series, too, as well, so fans enjoy it. But if it's, like you said, Terry, if it's going to bring some money to the city, it's going to bring some money to, anything. I'm sure Arthur Blank's going to have his hand on it, too, as well somewhere. But if it's going to do anything to, make the stadium look better, I'm all for it. But then again, there's a lot of Falcon fans that won't be able to tailgate with the new Atlanta that's getting ready to happen here in a couple years. So it's kind of crazy, Terry.
I don't know that there's an easy answer. I don't know. Maybe Arthur's going to take the revenue from that and buy the Braves. I don't know. Then it'll be maybe. You never know. You know what I mean? I'd love it if Arthur owned the Braves. I really would. I think it'd be great. I think we could go out and do what the hell we wanted. So yeah, but no, Zach, I don't know, man. I don't know.
Arthur has his hand in a lot in the city too, as well. I mean, he has. I think he's part of that West Side Works project too, as well. Well, of course, what he did with the Home Depot too, as well. PGA, I think the PGA store, Georgia Aquarium too, as well. So he's around, man. Arthur Blank he's doing the damn thing. We're actually going to talk about him shortly here with the Falcons Ring of Honor. But one person we haven't talked about much here on the channel, Casey Washington, Falcons rookie wide receiver, who apparently was lighting it up in OTAs. Don't know if
I've
we
heard.
mentioned it here too
Yeah, I
much
think we
on the
did.
channel.
Mhm.
Oh, that's good. That's good because we talked so much here on the channel. It's like I go over this too many times, too many times, bro. But yeah, Casey Washington is lighting it up at OTAs, and of course, Falcons camp starts July 24th. So we'll get a chance to hear some more about Casey Washington. But if for the fans here in the chat, I know you all are excited about our new rookie wide receiver, Terry. I think some fans have wide receiver 1 down, wide receiver 2 down. They look at Rondo Moore, possibly at wide receiver 3. Is Casey Washington our wide receiver 4, in your opinion, right now?
I think so.
I think he's on the team as far as
Mhm.
I mean, I think he's on the team as far as his where he is in the hierarchy. I would say could be 3, could be 4. Like I'm hearing rave reviews on this dude, right? So I mean, I don't know. This is the most anxious, excited I've been about a Falcons team. To be honest with you, this is probably I feel like
The 2016 good Terry.
oh, very much so. I you know what? I feel like I did before, and I'm a nerd, so I preface that. But I feel like I did before Avengers Endgame came out. Like right after, Infinity War and everybody just disappeared into the abyss and I'm all up and I was so anxious to see Infinity War, like, oh my God, how are they gonna kill him? How are they gonna do it? What are they gonna do? And it didn't disappoint. And I feel like that about this Falcons team. So I mean, Casey could be 3, he could be 4, he could be 5. I don't care. I think he's gonna make the team. I definitely feel that way, unless there's another one out there. But I've heard nothing but rave reviews on this kid. Looking forward to seeing him. And I'm telling you, this Falcon offense is just going to be phenomenal. When you watch Mooney run routes, bro, like you can't help but walk away thinking this guy could low key be our number 1. And I take nothing away from Drake, nothing away from him. But Mooney is not to be played with. He is not to be underestimated.
You've been shining on Mooney for since he's been here too, as well.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I mean, he had the most separation of any receiver last year, the most, which means literally he was always open. You know how some receivers are like, I'm always open. He literally was always open, right? And imagine what's going to happen when Kirk has this guy. And it's just going to make Drake and Kyle and Bijan even better. Hey, man. Hey, young fella. Casey Washington, if you can get in there, man, get in where you fit in. I'm going to say maybe 4 or 5. Who we got? We got Drake. We got Mooney.
Drake,
we got
Mooney,
Rondell.
Moore.
We got Ray.
Yep.
We got Casey. We got somebody. We got
Hodge.
Jeez, I forgot about Hodge.
Yeah, Cordell Hodge too as well. He's a gunner.
Yeah, he's still here, yeah.
Yeah.
Special teams guy too as well. You got some good special teams depth too as well on your team.
You do.
Very good guys when it comes to covering, tackling, and of course receiving and moving the ball up the field too as well. I'm getting ready to say up the pitch, Carrie, because I'm ready to go see Messi tomorrow.
Yes.
Messi, man, this is gonna be crazy that Messi's playing at the Benz tomorrow. So big shout out to all the fans that love soccer. Sold out, 70,000 fans. I will be one of them watching Messi play at the Benz. Carrie, Falcons rookie wide receiver killing it at OTAs. Drake London mentioned that he was killing it, and he's impressed with Casey Washington. Reports coming in that Casey Washington is working well with Michael Penix, and that could be your future here in Atlanta, where Penix is throwing to Casey Washington. I know you probably want to say BPE during your upcoming comment here, Carrie. So go ahead, the floor is yours. But your thoughts on Casey Washington, another player here who could have a breakout season with a quarterback like Kirk Cousins?
Yeah, for me, I definitely think he could be wide receiver 4. I definitely think he's going to make the 53-man roster.
Of course.
I listened to an interview that he was at. He got interviewed by the Falcons team and maybe like a week ago, and I really liked the interview. I liked his energy. He's very humble. He kept mentioning how he's super grateful, and it just all felt surreal. Like he's like, look over there, that's my teammate, that's Drake London. Like he like a pinch me moment, you know. I love that he's so humble, and um, he really seems like he's ready to prove himself, and I feel like that's probably why he's killing it, as they're saying in OTAs and minicamp, because he feels like, you know, he has something to prove. And he also mentioned in the interview that they asked him, like, what have you learned from Rondell Mooney? What have you learned from Drake London, from these receivers? And he said that, you know, the biggest thing that he's learned so far is that every day they show up. And even though that, you know, for example, Drake London was a first round pick, he's like, you know, me, I was a 6th round pick. So I have something so much more, he felt, to prove versus a first round pick, because he feels like they get a little more, you know, leeway and, you know, longer, like more time essentially to prove themselves versus a 6th round pick. You know, they could cut their losses easily. So he said that, you know, he loves that learning behind Mooney so far, and Drake London, he likes that, you know, they're such hard workers. They always show up and they're always trying to get better. And so that's how he's, you know, trying to be as well. So I feel like that's definitely why he's killing it, because he feels that because he was a 6th round pick, he really feels that he needs to prove himself to make the roster. And I think he will.
Hey, Falcon fans, Kerry is killing it. T. Will is killing it. Casey Washington is killing it. But you mentioned something to prove, and that goes back to that 2016 team too as well. T. Will, there was a lot of young players on that team that had something to prove. Of course, you had your stars. You had Julio, Sanu that's been in the game too as well. You had your Matt Ryan, your Alex Mack, your Jake Matthews. But then again, you had those young guys too as well. Some of those rookies that really helped this that 2016 team get to where they were. And you have some players this year: Rook, right? Braylon Trice, right? Dorless too as well. Eddie Goldman, right? You might even mention those two guys who the Falcons brought in this week. They went into the NFL and went to go sign 2 players from the UFL. Eddie's still there. June 19th, Eddie is still there. The Georgia Heat, and it's been hot now. It's 90-some degrees now. He is still there. So for Falcon fans that is thinking, you know, what could this 53 be? Camp is July 24th. Kerry, camp is July 24th. And then you have the Falcons open practice to the public at the high school in Beaufort, July 27th. One time for the fan will definitely be there. Then you have August the 2nd at the Benz open practice again. One time for the fan will be there. And then you have the game following right after that, the first preseason game. So you're talking about literally in a month away. I mean, thank you, Kerry. Well, you never know. I might even have to go try to get out there too as well. But for the Falcon fans that's going to the preseason game or the open to the public practice, it's a great time to watch your team. So you should definitely be excited, not only about Casey Washington, but Clark Phillips, some of these rookies on the team, Nate Lamb, even Troy Anderson too as well. These players have something to prove. You know what J.C. Bates can do. We know what A.J. Terrell can do. We know what Grady Jarrett can do, right? And it's just really going to add to the mix this year of how good this team is. Terry, we keep talking about that 2016 statement you made, because I think you really broke the Falcons internet this week with that one. So that was a good one, mentioning that. So fans are in the chat enjoying one time for the fan. Big shout out to you all. Travis Preston has a question for us all. Who's the defensive player not named Jesse, Grady, or AJ to watch for? Who's the defensive player not named Jesse, Grady, or AJ to watch for? T. Will, Caden Ellis?
Yes, as long as Troy Anderson stays healthy, and you can let Caden Ellis loose in the backfield, and Caden Ellis may end up getting 7-8 sacks. No. So for me, he's one to watch. Of the rookies, I'm going to say, you know, the consortium of Braylon Trice, Rook, and Dorless, because I think those fellas are versatile. I just think they're going to get after it, man. I think they're going to get after it. My brother calls me, you know what? My brother has no right to call me a homer because he's more of a homer than I am. Eric, if you're listening, love you, bro. But I think they're going to get after it. You know, so I thought about, because you asked a question, or Big Low Country asked a question, more or less sacks.
Mhm.
And I was conservative. I said just as much. And then, I kind of turned it over in my mind and I was thinking, and I was like, man, hell no. I'm going to say Falcons get 46 sacks this year.
Wow. I
46.
love that.
Yeah, I'm going to say Falcons give it because I'm the more I think about it, right? We have everything covered. We got guys that can rush from the inside. We got a dominant inside. We got guys that can rush from the outside. We got guys that are versatile, and we got coaches that know how to scheme and know what they're doing. And I just think we're going to kick some righteous ass. So I'm going to say 46 sacks.
For Travis Preston asking this question, he probably can name a couple players on this team away from Caden Ellis. And that just really shows of how many players we have that has a lot of potential here, right? To not only become future Falcons for long term, but they can help us get to that level of winning this division this year, getting back to the NFC Championship game, and making it to the Super Bowl, right? So Caden Ellis, big shout out to you too as well. We already know Caden Ellis is going to be on that 53, so that's going to be good to know that that's one of our guys, right? Carrie, what defensive player not named Jesse, Grady, or AJ Falcon fans should be watching for this season?
While T-Will was speaking, I was trying to think like, okay, who's my person? But I'm like, gosh, there's so many. I mean, so I want to mention a few. Because you mentioned Caden Ellis. And you kind of mentioned Troy there. I want to say Troy, because he's coming back from injury. And he's been looking good in camp. Like, he looks big. I'll be happy to have him back. And also Nate Landman. Nate Landman really surprised me last season when he filled in for him. I was really, disappointed when Troy went down, but then Nate Landman filled in and really shocked everybody with how great he played. So I feel like having both of them back is going to be interesting, and there'll be definitely two I'll be watching. But I also want to say Clark Phillips, because I feel he has a big role he's going to be stepping into, which he kind of was already last season, and he was doing very well. So for me, Clark Phillips is the guy. He's gonna be CB2, I think. So that's who I think I will be mostly watching if I had to pick one.
Nate Landman. I'm glad you guys are mentioning that linebacker group. I mean, Caden Ellis, Nate Landman, Troy Anderson, of course,
Strong
Clark
group.
Phillips too as well. These are some great answers. Who's the defensive player not named Jesse, Grady, or AJ to watch for? Of course, I got to go. Y'all can go ahead and tag him because that's the homie, man. Big shout out to D Offer, man. Team Glow. You got to go with Team Glow on this one too as well. Since he's been here in Atlanta, what D Offer has done, to really show Falcon fans that he deserves to be in this NFL. It's just amazing. Like, coming from where? Like a D2, D3 school, I think it was. And then he went over to Canada, came back from over there and played over here in the NFL. So now, big shout out to D Offer, man. That's my guy to watch for. And I think he might be that starting nickel spot. Him and Mike Hughes might have a CB battle. But then again, I saw a report the other day that Mike Hughes might be fighting for that CB2 battle, right? So D Offer might be sitting there holding down that nickel slot. But we'll see what happens when camp starts, because there's going to be a lot of competition camp battles going on. One time for the fan will be here to talk about it. Sterling Woods mentioned, how many sacks will this defense have?
All of them.
Now, I'm going, yeah, let's go 100, right? And I like Uncle Steve's answer the other night. Even if you don't get 42 sacks, just win the game, right? You can have 33 sacks this year. If you can make it to the playoffs, if you can win the division, Falcon fans shouldn't be upset about that, right? But looking at, no Bud Dupree, no Calais Campbell, no Ryan Nielsen. A lot of fans think, we'll be under 42 sacks this year. I think we'll be over 42 sacks this year, though, right? There's so much pressure coming from different sides, right? You're not really worried about one guy this year, right? And I know Falcon fans are waiting for that star pass rusher, right? But this is a team game, and you got to hope that Jimmy Lake and that defense, Jerry Gray, everybody, Raheem, they can draw it up. And I don't think Raheem's going to be heavy on blitzing too as well. It shouldn't be like a first, second, third down thing, right? If you can cover well, your guys in the front four will get to the quarterback, right? You got Grady up there, you got David up there, Zach Harrison, Tyquan Graham, wherever they're going to fit. I mentioned it the other night with Country, Zoe Carter. This is a big year for you, right? And
Mhm.
if they're going to have you out playing more zone or playing more in the flats or whatever, it is what it is. But anytime you can get to the quarterback, I like to see 4 or 5 sacks out of Zoe this year. Somebody has to step up to be that Calais Campbell and that Bud Dupree, because those are one of your guys that came over here, got the bag, did what they had to do, and they're gone to different teams. So we got to get some pressure drawn up from everywhere. I mentioned it the other day too. Braylon Trice. This is a big year for Ricky Braylon Trice. I think he's going to get a lot of PT here with the Falcons this year. You're going to see this guy week 1 against the Steelers. You're going to see him week 2 against the Eagles, right? You're going to see him a lot this season. Then that goes for that front line. We added a bunch of muscle. Whatever they can do in that 3-4 scheme, I'm all for it. But I do think they can hit about 42 sacks this year.
I think they're going to get after it, man. Like, I've never been so excited about a Falcons team. And I've seen a lot of Falcons. I mean, I've seen shit.
You've seen the Falcons for
45 Falcons teams. Like,
how many years now, Terry?
Shit, man. It's been at least four decades worth. Like, bro.
Hold on, Terry. Hold on.
Wow.
So, and the thing about it, like in 80, nobody expected the Falcons to do it. In 98, definitely nobody expected the Falcons. There's never been or when you did expect it, like, in 2013, after 2012, we sucked. The year after 1980, we sucked. The year after 98, when Jim tore his ACL in the second game, we sucked again. So I think Terry energy. I think this team is going to be not a good one, but a great one. I just think everything's in place. We got the perfect coach, man. Anytime I hear Raheem speak, I just want to go hit somebody for no reason at all. I just want to go smack the shit out of somebody whenever Raheem speaks. Like, all right,
can take you down to New Orleans at any time you're ready.
You know what I mean? I just want to go in Ingles and just pick the first Saints fan I see and bam, light his ass up.
You said they're in Ingles? Is that where they are? They're in
Ingles, Publix, Walmart, wherever.
So Saints fans, they hang out at Ingles.
I just want to go smack the shit out of a Saints fan and tell them you got to walk that shit out. You know what I mean?
Falcon fans, hit that like, share, and subscribe button.
Hey, you got to light his ass up and then stand over him and say, hey, you got to walk that out. That's what I want to do when I hear Raheem speak, man. Did you hear Matt Ryan speak the other day? Shit, I wanted to go
definitely
in the backyard. Like, let's go. Let's run the 9 route.
If it's any way possible, you can step in a time machine and go back 15 years ago and then be ready to go out there with this team again. We'll use a QB3. I'll even step back. I'm QB3 right now, but I'll even step back and that role.
I'm running a post.
Anything Matt can do to, motivate this team, I'd love to have him in the building, right? If he can be an analyst for this team, if he can sit down and be a coach's assistant, if he can do anything, I don't give a damn. I don't care where he can work. Matt Ryan definitely deserves to be, with this organization forever. And he is, of course, with this Falcons Ring of Honor. I know a lot of fans here in the chat are excited to talk Falcons football. So we are here once again talking Falcons football every Sunday, every Wednesday, Friday mornings too as well. And then we have some pop-up shows. But Terry Carey, you heard Matt Ryan speak to the Falcons the other day, correct?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Your thoughts, Carey? Did you shed a tear?
Oh, did I shed a tear? I was more like shedding puddles. I mean, yeah, I definitely cried. I don't know if I can go to that game where he's there for, is it against the Bucks, Thursday Night Football? He's going to be there for the Ring of Honor. Yeah. So I don't know if I could be at that game because, I'll probably be a wreck. I mean, to
coaches have no right to tell you what your identity.
Get him.
I know.
T-Will, your boy Raheem is up here talking to the Falcons, getting them ready with what it means to be a Falcon. And then he brings in the greatest Falcon of all time, Matt Ryan. Wasn't expecting this video, but how you feel, Terry?
Bro, man, I feel, I told you how I feel. I want to go hit somebody. Bro, when Matt started talking, I felt like that speech in Any Given Sunday when Al Pacino's down there. I can't make you do it. All right? I can't make you do it. The inches we need are everywhere. Fellas, either we live together as a team or we will die as individuals. That's how I felt, man. I felt like.
Did you just watch that movie recently? That just landed clean. Like you literally just watched that movie 20
Jack,
minutes ago.
I haven't told you guys this, but I will share this with you now because I consider you both family. And help the fans too. So a long time ago, I wanted to be an actor, right? I'm not good looking enough to be an actor, but I wanted to be an actor. So every movie I ever saw, I studied the lines. Like if you can throw me some movies, I can do Few Good Men. I can do Any Given Sunday. I can do some of Denzel's lines. You know, it's a thing, man. It's a thing. But that one, like that Al Pacino one, because I'm a big Al Pacino fan. There are probably 3 movies I like. Scarface, even though it was kind of an asshole. Carlito's Way, I liked it much better because he was trying to get out of the game. And Any Given Sunday, because that speech is like, hey man, I pissed away all my money. You know what I mean? What I thought life is about, it's not. Guys, let's be detailed. Let's go out here and kick ass. And it was just a great speech. So, yeah. But when Matt gave that speech, bro, I had goosebumps on my arm. You want to hear something weird? Like, I'm thinking about my dead mom. Like, my mom is in the locker room, like, yeah, Matt, go. But I'm like, for some reason, as he's speaking to me, I'm like, God damn it, Mom, we're going to win this Super Bowl for you. I know it's weird.
That's awesome.
It's deep, but it's real. I hear you, Terry.
It's weird. But I swear to you, like, that's the feeling I got. But I must have played that damn speech like 5 damn times, man. I kept playing it because it was on a short or a loop or something, right, Carrie? Because Carrie shared it with us. Yeah. So I just kept letting it play. You know what I mean? And it was great speech. And like I say, man, anytime Raheem speaks, I just want to go smack the shit out of a Saints fan. So, you know.
Hold on. Let me play the video then. Hold on. Let me go back. Where is he at? Up there he goes. He's talking right now, Terry.
Yep.
Do you want to take the camera with you and live stream it? Like Kai Cenat and those guys? Or what's the guy? Neon? What's that guy's name, Carrie? Neon? Is that his kid? That's the guy's name that screams everywhere he goes? You know I'm trying to catch up here, Carrie. It's been some trying to catch up. I'm just like Terry nowadays, man. You know, I'm playing golf. I'm relaxing more and more peaceful. But I'm telling you, like, it's a lot going on out here. But yeah, with Matt Ryan's Ring of Honor and then Arthur Blank too as well being accepted into the Ring of Honor. That was great to see because you had former players,
Ward Dunn and Roddy White,
Todd McClure too as well, who was on the video. I think Jared Riggs was on the video. Who else we had? Warwick Dunn, like you mentioned. Who else? Was some other people on the video?
Roddy White. I didn't see
Steve Barkowski was on there too as well.
I did not see Steve.
You didn't see Steve?
Are you kidding me? I did not see Steve on that video. Oh, man.
Carrie, Matt Ryan, Arthur Blank, Ring of Honor. Your thoughts on the greatest quarterback? Really, the greatest Falcon of all time.
I mean, yeah, that speech was amazing. He so deserves it. I'm so happy for him. And like I said on Twitter, I'm so thankful that he was our quarterback for 14 years. He gave us some great memories and great times as Falcons fans. I'm just so appreciative of him, everything he did for Atlanta on and off the field. And yeah, like no better Falcon. You can't do it better than him. So
that's right.
Carrie, I'm sorry, Terry, agree or disagree?
Agree wholeheartedly. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I mean,
if you disagreed, I'd be like, what's wrong with you?
Well, you know, I'm getting ready to set it up for like a 2016 comment the other day, but you know.
Who wouldn't agree with that? Like, whatever, man. Like, come on. That's like say, is water wet? Is the sky blue? No, it's not. It's not at all. Come on, man.
That was a very nice surprise, though, and I really liked how they surprised him. And even if it wasn't just a surprise to let him know he was in the Ring of Honor, I love that Raheem brought him in to speak to the players, to kind of tell them what it means to be a Falcon, because he did it for 14 years. So I love that he brought
Raheem steps in the room. He's wearing the A hat. He's giving off that Atlanta swag. Like you think he was born and raised in Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? Like even when he mentions Atlanta, the way he says it, the way he talks about it, of course, with the players in the room. And there was some guys like Matt can relate to, like Jake is in the room. Like Jake played with Matt. There's some guys in the room. Kyle played with Matt.
Grady.
He mentioned the 2016 moment. He mentioned with Rob being on the coaching staff. Grady was over there too as well. Like anything the Falcons can do to keep Matt Ryan around, keep him around. I know he's going to be in the booth, with CBS and everything, and hopefully they can put him on a game this year to call where we're going to be. I think. Oh wait, CBS. Shit, what teams
we play? The Broncos. We play the Steelers.
Is he calling the Steeler game?
I don't know.
The first game of the season?
I don't. That would be
That would be
something.
awesome.
Steelers used to play on CBS.
I don't know. I know. Let me tell you something. I know what I loved about Matt's speech was when he was like, "Look, man, anybody coming in here, we weren't afraid of anybody, and look, we took the attitude we're gonna kick the shit out of them."
That mindset that they had to go ahead and beat the shit out of any team.
Right.
I mean, he mentioned some of the old games played. Like Matt's played a lot of games. He's played a lot of series. He's played a lot of snaps. But to have the memory that Matt Ryan has about, that Carolina Panthers season when they thought they was going to go ahead and try to run through everybody, or the Seattle Seahawks game where he mentioned, the Legion of Boom and how tough that defense was, and Roddy wasn't taking.
Roddy came across and was like, "I'm gonna be here all day.
I'm gonna be here all day." I mean, just to hear that, you got players in the room that they want to be that, they want to get to that level, right? They got some of those young wide receivers. They want to be Roddy White. They want to be Julio Jones. You know what I'm saying? They want to be Matt Ryan. Even Kirk Cousins is sitting there looking like, shit, I'd love to be in that Super Bowl. Matt Ryan made it to the Super Bowl. Like, I want to be. He was MVP too. And don't forget about that year that we went to the Super Bowl. Kirk threw for like 4,800 yards. Like when Kirk was stupid. You know what I'm saying? So
I did look it up, and we are on CBS Week 13 against the Chargers. That's
all right. So maybe
that might be the Matt Ryan game too as well, where he'll be calling from the booth, which would be great. Because what did they give him last year? Falcons Saints, was it? In New Orleans?
Yes,
so.
They did.
Yeah.
Give him Falcons Saints in New Orleans.
Yeah, that game. That one I'd like to forget. Hey man.
And that is kind of strange. And fans, you've been down in New Orleans, it's kind of weird. I swear. I'll never forget this, Terry Carey. The Falcons are on the field. Ritter's moving the ball down the field, right? And there's a band playing in the hallway. Like they're having a second line. They're doing a second line in the middle of the quarter. So you got the drums going off, you got the trumpets going off, you got the band. I'm talking about the whole full marching band as the Falcons are on the field. And I'm sitting there looking like, can you do this? Is this allowed in anybody else's stadium? Can you do this? While the other team is played on the stadium, I know you can't, play certain music, and the announcers, not the announcers, the DJ, he can't play certain tracks when the other team is out there on the field. But when you have a whole marching band in the hallway, Terry, making a shit ton of noise, and I can hear it because I'm in the 100 section right there behind the bench. I'm looking like, bro, I can hear this. So I know the players can hear it.
Mm-hmm.
But it just interrupts the game. It's just another distraction that
they don't care, man. They don't care. Hey, special shout out to my brother Eric Parker. I see he snuck up in here. Just want to give him a shout out because my brother had a legendary high school career, got cut short, because of a knee injury. But when he used to smack the shit out of somebody, what'd you say, Eric? You gotta walk that out. You gotta walk it out. That's for you, baby bro. That's little big brother. That's for you. Anyway, yeah, man. Fuck. I had to catch myself. Sorry. I was about to say something about the Saints because I was thinking about my brother. Sorry. Forgot where I was. I was thinking I was having a conversation with him.
We were talking about the marching band in the hallway, the distractions.
Yeah, I was thinking about
this.
You know what?
No respect for them.
I'm still mad behind that thing they pulled on the last play of the game. That's where that angst is coming from. Because I really hope when we play them this year on the last play of the game, we throw a 90-yard bomb, even if we're up by 30 points. I think they deserve it. So yeah. But anyway,
cry.
This one won't make you cry. I think the Matt Ryan video was close enough.
Matt Ryan would,
because fans love Matt Ryan, except for Hal Poole. Hal Poole might jump in the chat, and we know what Hal Poole says anytime he's here in the chat. He usually starts
says
with
what I was about to say about the Saints. I avoided a penalty, Jack.
You did.
I caught myself. I avoided a penalty. I was close. I caught myself.
Two of your Falcon fan favorites of all time, Warwick Dunn and Roddy White, delivering the message. Some fans were like, why didn't they bring Julio? Why ain't Julio the one to do it? Like fans, like come on, let's not worry about these type of things. Work done, Roddy White delivering the message to Arthur Blank about the Falcons Ring of Honor. Carrie, we talked about Matt Ryan going into the Ring of Honor. Now we have Mr. Blank going into the Ring of Honor. So this could be a big season for the Falcons, and of course with the primetime games and new quarterback and new head coach and Matt Ryan Ring of Honor. Now you have Mr. Blank. Carrie, how you feel?
I mean, I'm a big fan of Mr. Blank. I think he's an amazing owner, probably the best owner in the league.
Yes.
I really love him. I feel like great character, just like Matt Ryan, very great person. Um, in the Falcons building, outside of the Falcons building, he does so much for the city. Yeah, I'm a huge fan, and he deserves it as well, wholeheartedly.
He does, and I hope we get him one.
Oh,
I really do.
yeah,
Let
he
me tell you
deserves
something.
it.
It's that feeling of getting
remember-
Mr. Blank, that the team can get Arthur Blank, a Super Bowl ring. Of course, Grady Jarrett, Jake Matthews, Kirk Cousins, and then of course you have a lot of other players too as well, and a lot of other fans that too deserve it too as well. But you guys are right about Arthur Blank, and of course you all are right about Matt Ryan. Those are those Falcon moments that we love to talk about here on the channel. But Matt Ryan, if you can give us anything, another year, QB3. I don't know, Taylor, if Matt Ryan was to come back, would you put him to QB3? If he had one more year and he said, "Hey, look, I'll give the Falcons one more year,"
I'll put him QB3. Why not? Because
would you switch off Taylor Heineke and put Matt Ryan?
Hell yes, and twice on Sunday. It wouldn't. And I'm gonna tell you why. Well, no, I'm gonna tell you why. Because the wisdom that Matt could impart in both of them would be worth it, right? Would be worth it. Some guys are glue guys. They're there just to impart knowledge and build and develop other guys. They don't call them coaches, but they're coaches. Even Julio in the latter part of his career, Julio was a wide receivers coach. And he was so good at it one year, we didn't even have a wide receivers coach because it was Julio. Because if you go back 2016,
I do remember Julio directing a lot of attention to a lot of the young staff that he had over there, the young rookies. Yeah.
Somebody messes up, you get Julio. Hey man, look, when you run that out, I need you to make your depth this. I need you to get the. You could see him talking to him.
Yeah, coach wouldn't chop it up with you. It's Julio getting on you, and then Sanu would come over there and get on you too.
Right. And I think Matt would be a coach on the field, but I'd take him in a heartbeat.
Who's that? Arjic, Robertson, Hall, Hardy.
Who
else they had over there? Sanu,
Julio, Taylor Gabriel. Yeah. Pat DeMarco at fullback. If you're talking 2016, obviously Coleman and Freeman at tailback. You got Hoop at tight end. You got Jacob Tammy that got hurt, I think, which is why Hoop became your starter. But yeah, man. Yeah, it's a lot. But I bring him back in a heartbeat, man. I really would. I think Matt's just a phenomenal person. I think he's a phenomenal quarterback. I think he's been great for the city. I think Arthur Blank is the best owner in sports, and I think he's deserving of a championship. Guys, I was here for the Rankin Smith years, and that's all I'm going to say about it. I'm not going to say anything else.
Enough said.
It speaks for itself. My mama said, if you don't have anything, then don't. So hey, I'm going to honor mama, and I'm just going to say I'm thankful for Arthur Blank. That's what I'm going to say. And he deserves one, and I hope we can get him one, if not this year, within the next couple of years. But he's deserving of the Ring of Honor. He does so much. And not only that, he is a developer and builder of men, right? Because Warwick Dunn credits him all the time for, Arthur Blank is kind of a dad to some of these, not all, but some of these guys. If you meet the criteria, he'll pull you in, under that Superman cape and kind of, guide you and mold you and shape you and say, here you go on your way. So, I just think, it takes a leader to build leaders.
Yeah.
It's a father to build fathers, and I just think Arthur Blank is that dude, man. So he definitely deserves it.
Yeah. Big shout out to Arthur Blank, Falcons Ring of Honor, and of course, Matt Ryan too, as well. He's done a great job on the field and off the field and in the community too as well. And he does said a lot to his players about the community, about what they can do out there. Bijan Robinson, of course, what Calais Campbell was able to do last year in the community too as well. What Arthur Blank does on the west side, trying to redevelop everything over there. So big shout out to Arthur Blank with the Falcons Ring of Honor coming up this year, and Matt Ryan too as well. I'm sure Falcon fans would be packed in attendance to see that Falcons Ring of Honor with those two. Getting ready to wrap it up here on the podcast. Fans are in the chat. They are live. They are lit. DSGB Hall's in the chat. Sterling Woods, Archangel, Ricky Smith, Dre the Boxer. Ramel Peck is also in the chat too as well. Big shout out to Ramel. Fans are live, man. Once again, we are almost at 1,000 subscribers. It's because of you all. The Thou Wow. The rack. It's because of you all, right? From everybody that was here since the first draft night, right? When we did it, I think it was like a year and a half, 2 years ago. Everybody was here for the home games, away games when we went live. Of course, our podcast, pop-up shows, everything. Big shout out to all the fans in the chat, because honestly, one time for the fan is from the fan, is for the fan. So we want to say thank you all here to everybody in the channel. Eric Parker, once again, man. Eric Parker has been on the channel too many times. He was actually on the very first episode of One Time for the Fan. So
what's up, LBB?
Eric Parker has that award too as well. So big shout out to LBB, Eric Parker. Eric, we have a lot going on this off season. So if you want to come out and hang out with some Falcon fans, man, I got some upcoming information for you. If you have some time on your schedule. So big shout out to Jay Black, big shout out to Eric Parker, Ricky Smith. A lot of people here in the chat. So Jay Black said, hello, panel members. Is this Carrie on deck? Sheesh. Carrie is here. Man City Carrie is here.
Yeah.
Manchester City's diehard #1 fan. Atlanta Falcons #1 fan. Carrie is here.
Y'all got to tell me about this Man City, man. And like, the next time they have a game, man, I want to at least check it out. You know what I mean? I want to at least check it out.
I mean, you trying to head to Orlando? We can go to Orlando for this game coming up next month. That's honestly, if you want to go see them play, there's Charlotte and Orlando coming up next month.
Are you going, Jack?
I'm trying to probably get one of them. I might just do the Orlando. Oh, Atlanta United just scored.
Nice.
Armada just scored. Let's go, Armada. Thank you. Please.
Jack, if you go, I'll go. If you go, I'll go.
Carrie's, you're there for the Orlando one, right, Carrie?
I'm there. I'm going to be there.
So Manchester City doesn't come over and play in the States a lot. But when they do their international series, there's a lot of teams that's coming over too as well. Carrie, you know a lot about this.
Yeah, and a new stat just came out that this past season, Manchester City was because they're in Europe, so like the biggest soccer team watched by American fans. So that's pretty big. They're the most watched team from over there, so that's really cool. Because the following's huge. I mean, I was so naive before I started watching soccer that I just thought I should have known better. I shouldn't even say this out loud, but to me, American football, or baseball, but no, soccer, football, that's besides the US, that's the sport around the world. That's the beautiful game. It's huge. And I didn't know that until I started really, diving in and becoming a diehard fan. So
yeah. And for, a lot of soccer fans here in the chat, Messi is playing tomorrow at the Benz. So I know a lot of Atlanta United fans were like, oh, we can't wait until see Messi in September when he plays for Inter Miami. We don't know if he'll play that game because they're not going to change the turf for that game. They're not going to change the field. But for tomorrow, they have the real grass out there for, of course, Argentina, who is the big time stars. But Manchester City is a club team, Terry, and they are just racking up trophies and awards for individual stats, player performance, and of course team too as well. But they have one of the top teams in
they're
the
like the Celtics. I hate to say it. I know.
They're how would you compare them to, Carrie? Manchester City,
the Yankees, the Celtics.
They're I ain't gonna lie, man. I hate it when they're like the Patriots of
okay, that's what I was about to say. I'm like, I don't want to compare them to a Boston team like the Celtics, the Patriots, but yeah, right. I mean, they literally, it's like winning this. They just won 4th championship in a row, so it's like winning the Super Bowl 4 times in a row. They just did that. So, and it made history. No one had ever done that before. So yeah, it's pretty big. And it's funny you say Celtics because the head coach of Man City was actually at the Celtics game. I don't know if you saw that, Jack. The Celtics head coach. Sorry, it's blowing my mind right now. I'm forgetting the name. It's
I don't even know that guy either. I focus on the Hawks.
I know what he looks like, but anyways, the Celtics head coach, he said that Pep, the coach of the Man City, he gave him a lot of tips and everything on how to, position his players and all that. I'm like, wow, like that's crazy. He's getting tips from, another coach from another sport. But hey,
yeah. A lot of celebrities are showing up to Manchester City's games and so on. And I guess the Orlando game coming up and the Charlotte games can be pretty packed. But they have a lot of fan clubs here too as well,
yes.
Terry. So they have a fan club, I believe, in Florida, right, Carrie?
We have one in Atlanta too. Remember that?
The ATL Citizens out here in Atlanta, and of course they have a group in New York, one in Washington.
Yeah.
But they have some pretty big support groups.
But
fans out here.
To tie that back to the Falcons, I love I'm a diehard Falcons fan. I'm a diehard Man City fan. Those are like my two big teams. But I just can't wait for the day that the Falcons win a Super Bowl, because all the, like you mentioned, the trophies that Man City is winning, it has brought me so much joy to see them break these records and win these. Oh my gosh, winning the league, like literally tears of joy. Like I cannot wait for the fact,
because the cool thing about it, as a fan, Carrie, you support other teams, and when your football team is not winning and there's no football season, there's other sports that's being played.
Right.
So as a Braves fan, the Braves are winning, you're excited. As the Hawks, if the Hawks are winning, you're excited. But then there's a lot of fans that can't relate to that if the team is not winning. So if you go to like the Georgia Bulldogs, we won back-to-back years. A lot of fans that wasn't Bulldogs fans, go Dogs. A lot of fans who wasn't Bulldogs fans, they hated that. But for us, we loved it. I know the Falcons wasn't winning, but guess what? Go Dogs. We're kicking ass, right? And same thing for the Braves too as well. I got a friend of mine where he's a Texans fan, not a Texans fan. He's a Astros fan, and a couple Mets fans that I know too as well. But they're the Mets fans ain't winning shit. The Astros got one recently, but outside of the Astros, his Texans ain't won no championship recently. So
look.
Manchester City brings us joy.
Yeah, I can't wait for Falcons to do the same. Oh my gosh,
bro. I would almost give up a toe. Like I'd be willing to give up a toe just to see like one, maybe even a pinky. Maybe I go Ronnie Lott and give up a pinky, but just to see one Falcons Super Bowl. And it is not even just for me, man. It's for most of the guys I know, guys that are no longer with us, my parents. You know what I mean? Like that. What a day, man. What a day. Like guys like Uncle Steve who've been through. I know Uncle Steve been through it. He's older than me. You know what I mean? Guys like Smitty, guys like, just to see that, maybe if I won the lottery, maybe, because you can't buy that kind of feeling.
No.
You can't, like the feeling that I felt when the Braves won it in 2021, I'm not going to lie. I went out like a straight punk. I cried like a baby.
Right.
Like I fell to my knees and my fat ass, and I cried like a freaking baby.
As a diehard Falcons fan, I was happy for the Braves.
I'm
also happy for the Hawks. I'm also happy for every other team that wins. But when the Braves won, it was like, thank you. We definitely needed this.
But my Falcons are my first love.
Yeah.
So if my Atlanta Falcons that I have watched for 45 years, suffered with, grown with, cried with, laughed with, if they win a championship, bro, I don't know that I'm going to survive the party that's going to take place at the Wilson household. I don't know that I'm going to survive. But
we talked about this too many times of what the parade would be like, what the party would be like if the Falcons win.
I don't even think I'm going to make it to the parade, Jack. Because first of all, there's going to be copious amounts of liquor that you got to understand.
Carrie, you would have to drive in. I don't know if you'd be able to get a flight with all those fans that be trying to get to Atlanta.
Bro,
yeah.
I'm not driving.
And I'm not going to want to leave. Like, when is the party ending? Like,
you're talking about Atlanta, so the day party. You know, Atlanta is the day party starts around like 11:30.
Bro, I'm going to be too.
The after hour party. I mean, you're talking about every club packed in the city. Tuesday night, Wednesday night, the whole entire week. It's just going to be flyers of just the Super Bowl trophy talking about show up here, bottle section, all that type of stuff.
You don't understand, Jack. First off, I'm going to be drunk. I'm not going to have a voice. I will have screamed my lungs. I probably will hug all my kids, my brothers, my brother-in-law. I'll call cousins who aren't Falcons fans and talk shit. I will. I know 2 Saints fans. They will definitely be on my speed dial. They may not answer, but I'm gonna call them and talk shit. I'm gonna visit my dead dad's ashes probably within that week. I have my mom's ashes with me. My mom didn't drink, but god damn it, we're gonna have a drink together. And it's, bro, the feeling that we don't even have to win multiple championships. Oh wait, what did Eric say? The party gonna start as soon as the
party
Eric,
starts as soon as the clock strikes 0. Now Eric Parker is definitely
Eric understands.
Telling it. I mean,
Eric
come
understands,
on, man.
bro. I just can't wait, man. I honestly, if I survive that week, because I'm gonna be so freaking emotional and crazy. Because I'm going to think of 1998. I'm going to think of 1980. I'm going to think of 2012 when goddamn what's his name dropped that freaking pass. He was wide the hell open and he just got like a turf monster just shot him. I know, 15-yard penalty. I get it. But
no, you're good. We're getting ready to wrap up the show. But hey, the first F-bomb of the night. I appreciate it.
Turf monster just got him, right? And he drops and he would have scored and we would have gone to the Super Bowl. Of course, 2016, all that's going to go through my mind, man. And I'm going to freaking lose it. And my brother's not going to be there because we have this rule that we can't watch the Falcons in the playoffs because of what happened with 2016. But I'm going to call him and it's going to be freaking emotional. And he's going to be like, get it together. Because there's going to be like, none of that crying shit. Get it together. But I don't care. I'm going to call him. Bro, I can't wait, man. I cannot wait. And I got a feeling about this team. I could be wrong. I don't want to be wrong. I could be a freaking homer. I could be crazy.
Is that the 2016 team behind you that they're showing right now? On the
could
video?
be.
That was the 2016 team.
It could be. It could be. But bro, if we do it this year, man, man. I would give up a toe. I would. A pinky. But I would give up a toe. Maybe two. They have false toes you can put in your shoe, right?
I'm keeping my toes. But for Falcons,
I might give up a pinky toe for the Falcons.
I'd give up a toe. I would give up a toe.
What is this, like John Wick now? We're going full John Wick for the championship?
I might give up a pinky finger too. I mean, you can have one.
For those that know, if I'm at the game, at the Super Bowl, once the Falcons getting ready to win, I'm probably running on the field before the end of the game. So that'll probably be my last Super Bowl ever.
Yeah,
but I get a chance to run on the field. I'm pretty fast too, but they won't catch me. Security won't catch me.
Think so? You think so?
No.
That's been said by a lot of guys, man. I don't know. I don't want to see you get taken out by Big Bubba, 6'7"
You gotta know how to do it, man. You gotta know how to juke him. You gotta know how to juke him. You got get into the tunnel. You gotta get to the tunnel. Once you get to the tunnel,
you got that waggle jack. You can shake and bake. That's what it is.
You gotta get to it.
FGB's Hall comment up there. He'll give his left leg to win in New Orleans. Oh my gosh, I would.
Hell yeah!
First ring in New Orleans, and the toilet
bowl for a ring in New Orleans.
There you go, Mark. There you go.
DSGB Hall giving my left leg to win in New Orleans.
DSGB, what's up, baby? What's up? That's what you got to do. That's what's up. DSGB. That's what's up. Hell yeah.
This is great to see the Falcons fandom of fans knowing that when the Falcons get a chance to win that Super Bowl, when it happens, that I can see Lisa Shepard running down Peachtree Street, right? Like it's going to happen, right? The party starts when the Falcons win that Super Bowl. Every club in the city, every lounge, every bar, every player, even, man, you're talking about the malls might even reopen at 1 a.m. Like Atlanta's going to light up in a major way. So big shout out to all the fans that's ready for that day, because I know I'm ready for that day too as well. The hardest part, I think, will be the parade of where you're going to be for the parade, because everybody's showing up for that parade. You're talking about a big ass party and a concert too as well. They're going to have somebody perform, right? You know that's going to happen, right? This is Atlanta. Somebody's going to perform. Matter of fact, a bunch of people's going to perform, right? But you get that Atlanta vibe, right? it's downtown. It's near the stadium. Where are you going to put all those people for the parade? Right? You can't put them in the Home Depot backyard like Atlanta United's parade. Right? You got to. Shit, I don't even know where you're gonna put all those people.
It's gonna have to span counties. Like I don't even know.
Like the Braves had to just roll through and head up to.
That's what they're gonna have to do.
That's tough. No, you can't even do that. You're getting off. You're getting off Capitol Ave somewhere. You're probably taking the bus from Flowery Branch.
You're gonna have to block some streets off, Jack. That's just all it is.
I mean, of course you're gonna do that, but the problem is the fans. The amount of fans that's going to be down there for Atlanta. This is, bro. This is come on.
I don't know that
like
I'm
the Hollywood in the South
party,
right here, bro.
Jack. You don't understand.
My boy said Centennial Park. Centennial Park. You might as well just bring Outkast to come perform and just do an Outlast 2.0.
You probably have performances all over the city,
everywhere. Hell, I might even get out there and perform that week. You never even know.
Hey, I hear you.
But Jack,
you have performances all over the city.
What's up, Carrie?
I said, don't skip Eric's comment there about Freddie.
Freddie gonna take you out there.
Freddie gonna take Jack out. Sheesh.
Shout out to Freddie Falcon. It was National Mascot Day, I think, on Monday. So shout out to him.
That is true. Big shout out to Freddie Falcon. NFL, was it Mascot of the Year too as well?
Yes.
So big shout out to Freddie the Falcon. Falcon fans
gonna descend from the ceiling and get you right before you get to the tunnel, Jack. He's coming down. You won't see him coming.
Falcon fans, hit that like, share, and subscribe button. This is great talking Falcons football with everybody. Carrie, once again, thank you for talking Falcons football with us. Terry, once again, thank you for talking Falcons football with us. We are in our upcoming events and shout outs segment here on One Time for the Fan. And it's going down in a major way. Go ahead and put some stuff up here on the screen. I know Carrie tweeted it earlier. The Rise Up Tour Fan Club this weekend for any Falcon fan that wants to put on their Falcon gear and come hang out with some diehard Atlanta Falcon fans. We have the Atlanta Pro Football Fanatics Cookout. It's going to be from 12 to 6 at NH Scott Park, 2230 Tilson Road in Decatur, where it's greater Georgia. So for Falcon fans who want to come out, have a good time, there's going to be other fan clubs out there from probably the Aints, the Vikings, the Packers. There's probably going to be a bunch of Cowboy fans out there. But of course, the Rise Up Fan Club, our Falcon fans, we're going to be out there too as well. So if you want to come hang out, come chill with us at the Atlanta Pro Football Fanatics Cookout. We want to make sure everybody can eat and drink because we do have a lot of food out there. So a $10 donation if you want to donate to the group. And of course, if you don't want to come out there and eat food and drinks, you just want to hang, pull on up, come hang out with us. We'll probably have a podcast going out there too as well. Terry, you got time on? You got time on Saturday, Terry?
I'm gonna make it my business to get out there, man. I probably can't stay that long, but I'm gonna because I gotta work. But I will make an appearance. I will get out there. I will see some folks, man. I will see my Falcons brethren and sister and just fellowship with y'all. And hey, man, it's gonna be glorious. It's gonna be a great time, and I'm looking forward to it.
Carrie, we're flying you in.
Yeah, getting on the PJ.
Get on the PJ, oh God. Carrie's been listening to that trap music there over there. But if you want to go ahead and sign up, go ahead over to the riseuptourfanclub.com/cookout. You can enter your information. You can pay your $10 donation. So you know that your money is secured with the Rise Up Tour Fan Club. So big shout out to everybody.
United won nothing.
Atlanta United just won 1-0.
Yep.
Hey, hold on now. Hold on. You see that? You see that extra time now? You see that +5? Okay, there it is. Final. Okay, good. Because MLS soccer is a little bit different, my friend. Especially with Atlanta United. But this is a big 3 points for them. They just been in a drought the past couple of weeks. They fired their head coach too as well recently. So they could have had a win against Houston the other day. It was leading 2-1 in the 89th minute, gave up a goal at the last minute right there before the 90. And then tonight beating DC United 1-0. That's actually pretty big. So 3 points for United, 4 points in the past 2 games. Kerry, like soccer. I mean, hell, 1 point is better than no points. But 4 points in the past 2 games is something to build off of, right?
Definitely.
Yeah. So Falcon fans, if you're United fans, Atlanta United is doing well in the past 2 games. Also coming up, we have the Rise Up Tour Fan Club membership party. We have a lot of members in our group. We travel to a lot of away games. We put on a lot of events. And this year is going down in a major way. We got Philly coming up. Who else on the schedule this year? Tampa, Carolina, New Orleans, Minnesota, Denver, Vegas, Washington. So we have a lot of things planned for Falcon fans. But if you want to show up, we have unlimited food, and of course we have some drinks too as well at this location, 1356 English Street Northwest, at the following warehouse, July 28th from 2 to 6. If you're not a member of the Rise Up Tour Fan Club, you'd have to pay $30 per person to enter. But if you are a member of the Rise Up Tour Fan Club, it's free. Just show up so you can get your membership gear. Terry, that's a day for you to come out there and get your membership swag. We got everything set for all the members. But it's going to be a great time, man. We have a bunch of Falcon fans, again, having a good time in the off season. Season didn't even start yet, and I just gave 2 events that fans can show up, rep their team, and have a good time with the Rise Up Tour Fan Club. Terry?
Yes, sir.
It's going down July 28th.
Going down. Big old tailgate party for, Rise Up Tour members. Let's get it. Let's go, guys. Let's come out. Let's be visible. Let's be visual. Let's fellowship, man. And, hey, man, let's put together that culture for a winning season, playoff victories, and, hopefully Super Bowl. Never know.
So just like the cookout, you can head over to the riseuptourfanclub.com/cookout for the cookout on Saturday. And for the party, you can do the riseuptourfanclub.com/party. So you can make sure you can RSVP for that too as well. Of course, our Rise Up Tour Fan Club members, they get emails every day. So they see what's going on with the group. And now this is a big weekend because July 26th, you got Deadpool coming out for Marvel fans. July 27th, you have the Falcons open to the public practice in Gwinnett County. And then July 28th, you have the Rise Up Tour Fan Club membership party.
Isn't that your birthday weekend, Jack?
No, I'm October 26th.
Wow. Okay.
My birthday weekend is the party. My birthday weekend is the party in Tampa. That Saturday.
That's right. Okay. Yeah. Because I knew
for fans that's heading down to Tampa, we're going to party in a major way because my birthday is that Saturday. And with the Rise Up Tour Fan Club, we throw big ass parties on the road.
Let's do it.
So for fans that's heading to Tampa, I have some information to post here shortly. But Carrie, I know if you can't make it to this, we'll definitely ship your stuff out to you. For fans that can't make it to it, we have a lot of fans that's outside of Atlanta, outside of Georgia. We will definitely ship the stuff to you, all your membership gear. But it's going down in a major way for that too as well. And then I want to give a big thank you. I want to give a big shout out to all the fans who purchased their tickets for the Rise Up Tour Fan Club train ride to New Orleans. It's sold out, Terry. 60 seats sold out.
Sold out.
But guess what, Terry? If you want to go, I saved 2 seats for you. I bought the last 2 because I said Terry might be the last.
Are you serious?
I got the last 2 seats because I knew if you want to go and buy your own ticket, that you was going to go to a different car. But you said you don't fly. I was like, are you sure it's sold out? He was like, bro, you got 2 more tickets left. I said, bro, just give me them tickets.
Appreciate it, man. Good looking out.
So we need you down in New Orleans. We're going to strengthen numbers this year to New Orleans. We got live podcasts set up. We got parties and stuff going on. Terry, we need you down there, man.
All right, brother. Since you called, I just got to find a way back. That's not a plane. I'm going to see if I can't get a train ticket on the way back.
Well, I'm glad you said that because we rented a horse for you too as well. So you're going to be on a horseback. Putting back to him.
Oh, my God.
I'm glad you said that.
Oh, I would be so sore.
Glad you said
Have you ever ridden a horse? Oh, my God, I would be sore.
For the fans that want us to go and rent an additional private car for the Amtrak, we're not going to rent an additional private car. We have 60 fans on the train. I think Pastor Pastor's on the train too as well. Big shout out to Pastor Troy. Right. But you have 60 diehard Atlanta Falcon fans heading down to New Orleans that weekend. And of course, it's going down in a major way when we get out there. But don't forget about the bus trip to Carolina coming up. The Rise Up Tour Fan Club is always doing something great for Falcon fans. We have a bus trip to Carolina, day trip.
Let's go.
Leave Sunday morning, arrive Sunday afternoon, right before the Carolina game. Don't forget, it's a 4:25 game in Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
So for Falcon fans that want to tailgate, party, have a good time, we got you set up. We got you squared away. We got you taken care of. So don't forget, you can head over to the riseuptourfanclub.com/Carolina. The bus will be, 7, 8 in the morning. Arrive about 12:30. We had the tailgate. You go into the game. You're back home before the Sunday night football game is over. So, Carolina's up the street.
That's
right.
What's up.
Big shout out to everybody that's heading out on that trip there. And then, of course, the last bit of information, the bus trip to Tampa. It's going down in a major way. And, of course, we have our host hotel, the 4 Points by Sheraton Suites. The room rate that fans are calling about. I know there's a lot of fans that's not getting our room rate because you're not a member of the Rise Up Tour fan club. We're checking. The Marriott called lets us know this stuff, Terry. People are trying to get the room rate discount code. They can't get it if you're not a member of the
that's
Rise
a
Up
penalty
Tour.
on them.
I'm about to blow the whistle on that. Matter of fact, let me go ahead and do that.
That's disqualification from the game.
Hold on, let me go ahead and do that. Hold on.
That's an ejection.
15 penalty on the fans trying to get the room rate.
You're underwater again, Jack.
I'm going to use the group name to get this.
You're underwater.
Oh no! He's already
Your audio, Jack. You're underwater. I think what he said is 15-yard penalty on you folks trying to steal the rate, and you're ejected from the game. Thank you.
Is it messed up now? Is it messed up again?
We can hear you now. We can hear you
now. You can hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know what's going on. I had the Kendrick Lamar. It's probably Kendrick Lamar. He was live, so I'm guessing that might be messing up. But here we go. 15-yard penalty on the fans that's trying to use the Rise Up Tour fan club room rate group code. That's not a part of the group.
Are they ejected? Are they ejected from the game?
Yeah, they're not ejected, but we're going to back them up 15 yards.
You're going to be backed up 15 yards. And you have to sing the national anthem. Backwards.
Kendrick is on stage. Go back and check this out. Kendrick Lamar is on stage. He has a pop-up show going on right now. I know a lot of people probably want to watch that. The social media is going kind of wild right now because I'm sure with his recent disses toward Drake, fans are tuned in for this. And this is a pop-up show. Just like how we did a pop-up podcast Monday night, it's a pop-up show for Kendrick Lamar at the he's at the arena, right? He's at the with the Kia Forum?
He is. And I just saw I think he went on stage about 5 minutes ago, and they're saying he added a lyric. The lyric is, "Give me back Tupac's ring, and I might give you a little respect."
Ooh, so he's already throwing shots 10 minutes into the show on stage. So for fans that have Amazon Prime, Terry, if you want to get hip of what's going on in the music industry.
Hey, I got Amazon Prime and I can check them out. Look, this is what I want to know.
Go turn to that.
Is Metro Boomin with them? And if he is he going to perform BBL Drizzy? See, y'all didn't know I knew that song.
There's a lot of special guests that's going to be popping up. I'm sure he's probably going to do Like That. Like That is a big song.
Oh, I love that song.
That's one of Terry's favorite songs. That's the song of the year, 2024 for Terry. Matter of fact, Terry, this year on the road, you pick what game you're coming to. We're going to play that song for you.
Oh, shit.
Boy.
You
better make sure you turn up out there.
Uh-oh.
Right? Matter of fact, I'm calling the DJ right now because I don't want to give the breaking news of who the DJ is in New Orleans. But I'm going to let him know we got to play Like That. From Future and Metro Boomin. Metro Boomin was actually on stage with 21 Savage the other day, and there was a back and forth, with them on Twitter recently. So that's the hip hop news of the one time for the fan portion of our show. For fans in the chat. I know, right? But for fans that want to go watch the Kendrick Lamar show, it's on Amazon Prime. But yes, the Rise Up Tour fan club bus trip to Tampa, October 26th, my birthday. It's a overnight trip. We have the 4 Points by Sheraton host hotel for Falcon fans. Of course, when we do these host hotels, man, we pack it out. Arizona, we had over 50 rooms booked. Tampa right now, we have over 30 rooms booked. I'm getting ready to finalize Minnesota and send that over to the fans, to the members of the group here shortly. But Vegas, the big game, Vegas, which a lot of fans are going to. We are making the MGM Grand the Rise Up Tour Fan Club host hotel. So for fans that's heading to Vegas, if you go to the MGM Grand, you see a bunch of flags and a bunch of banners from the Rise Up Tour Fan Club and a bunch of diehard Atlanta Falcon fans. That would be us. So if you want to party with Falcon fans, we have some stuff set up in Vegas already. We're not going to drop the information yet, but we do have some stuff set up for fans, and we can't wait for you all. We actually just got the tailgate location yesterday. So that's actually pretty great. And we might even fly out there to go see the location to make sure everything's going to be set up. But it's going to be great for Monday Night Football for all fans that want to head out, to come see the Falcons play the Raiders. MGM Grand is the host hotel. So I'll be at the Wyndham first. I'm playing golf, then I'm going to head over to the MGM Grand.
But wow! That deserves a wow.
I mean, you know what? Hey, well, guess what?
That deserves a wow.
Terry, you're going to get your...
Hey, man. Stunt on them, Jack. Stunt, is that still cool? Or
not really stunting. I mean, you're going to Vegas, you're going to have a good time. When you go to Vegas, you're not supposed to have like a budget, right? You're going to go casino, you're going to go eat good, you're going to go do a lot of sightseeing. That's not stunting.
So stunting is no longer cool? Nobody's stunting.
I'm not pulling up in no Lambo on the strip. Like I'm in and out of Ubers. I'm in and out of Ubers.
Okay. All right.
I wouldn't say it's stunting. I would just say I work my ass off, But that ain't stunting. Stunting is when I'm out there like, bro, it's 100,000, bro. We throwing it all 27 on black on roulette. Now that's stunting. Damn. That's what I'm not doing.
Would it be 100,000 or 100,000? Wow.
Shit. Terry, I don't know if to blow the whistle or say wow on that one. I don't know. I'm over here thinking about it. But Falcon fans, hit that like, share, subscribe button. Friday morning, we're back talking Falcons football because we have breakfast with One Time for the Fan. We have some special guests that's getting ready to come up here on the podcast soon, too, as well. I want to give a big shout out to everybody who's tuned in to One Time for the Fan tonight. But to wrap it up, Carrie, Terry, your shout outs for this evening.
Miss Carrie, please go first.
Yeah, I would like to shout out both you and Jack for the show tonight. Having me, always great time, lots of laughs, lots of Falcons football, great time tonight. Flew by. It's almost been 2 hours already. So, and then everyone in the chat, everyone was super positive in the chat and interactive. So it was great. So shout out to everyone in the chat.
Yep. All right. Well, hey man, I'm first off, Carrie, thank you. It's always fun when you join. I personally think we're at our best when you join. So I and not that I don't love Jack, I love the guy, but I do that's when you join. So thank you. Shout out to you.
You're gonna get a penalty.
No. He's good. Matter of fact, I was supposed to upload the new sounds on the soundboard because we're gonna, we got to get like Uncle Steve over there. Uncle Steve got songs over there. He's over there cutting up records over there. He has a whole album on that soundboard.
He's serious. He's serious with it. You better believe it. And he's freaking hilarious. Hey man, shout out to the fans. And I enjoy you guys, man. Look, the fans in this chat, they make it, even on a night where you might not have a lot to talk about, they're so engaging. They're going to supply the topic. Like we could just sit up here and be like, Falcons go, and it's going to be a good time had by all. So shout out to you guys. Shout out to you guys who are in here day in and day out. Our A1s from day ones. Thank you. Everything you do is much appreciated. And please keep coming back. Obviously want to thank God for life, liberty, health, justice, and the American way. Want to thank my wife, my family, all of that. And hell, man, Jack, brother, without you, I wouldn't be here. My brother, Eric Parker. So thank both of you. Jack is always helping me, developing me, helping me get my shit together, giving me all the young legal. I'm telling you, man, in about 6 months, I'm going to be cool, man. I'm going to be that dude. I'm going to be able to walk into a room and impress the shit out of my son. You know what I mean? Oh, I'm sorry. I know your kid was there. I wouldn't have said that.
No, she can't hear. No, she can't hear. No.
Oh, okay. Cool. No, but hey, Jack, thank you, man. As long as you keep inviting me, I'll keep coming back. And yeah,
that's why I try to keep my kids close to me during the Falcons game. Sometimes I'd be like, "What the mother?" No, I'm sorry. my 10-year-old's in there. I'm sorry.
Oh wow, no, but Jack, hey man, thank you, brother. Thank you for everything you've done, and I'm loving this. We're having a good time, man. Let's keep it going. Let's get to, here we go again, a thou sub. So like and subscribe. And Jack, I defer to you, sir. Go right ahead.
Hey, Falcon fans, hit that like, share, and subscribe button. Thank you all for being a part of One Time for the Fan tonight. As you can see on the bottom of the screen, traveling to away games this year. That's the link. That's the website. When you get to that second page, you're getting ready to check out. Use OTFTF. That's One Time for the fan. You can use that at checkout for your discount, and we want to make sure everybody's a part of this Rise Up Tour fan club, because we're really doing a lot of things that's great for Falcon fans on the road. 7 years strong with the fan club. So once again, big shout out to everybody in the chat. Big shout out to everybody on the channel. Carrie, thank you so much.
Yes.
We talk a lot on the channel and of course off the channel too as well. T Will, thank you so much too as well. Chase, DFU, big shout out to you guys over there at DFU. Bodie 3000, big shout out to Bodie 3000.
What up, Bodie?
Thank you all, everybody in the chat channel, Apple Podcast, Spotify Podcast, Amazon Podcast. Once again, big shout out to you all. We don't, we go live here on YouTube, so you guys can't really see the channel. But wherever you're listening, head on over to YouTube and Facebook and check us out. I see the views are going up over there too as well. So shout out to you all, whoever, if you're driving to work or you're at work or you're, I don't know who's listening to it, but thank you. You know what I'm saying? Big shout out to everybody that's supporting One Time for the Fan. And y'all have a great day. See y'all back Friday morning, Terry. Breakfast with One Time for the Fan.
Breakfast at One Time for the Fan. Night, Carrie.
All right, time to go watch some Kendrick Lamar, right? All right, let's go do it. Let's go watch Kendrick